are open. We are open. We are open. I am open and willing and receptive to receive that spiritual inspiration and guidance that is there for me, delivered by means of me, through me, in my own unique and special way. For who I am right now, where I am, is perfect and constantly evolving and growing into a higher expression of who and what I can be and what I can do. So as I take these words into silence, I do so allowing my mind to create a possibility for me of that which I truly desire to experience, knowing that the understanding to reach this is delivered to me. And so, in these quiet, sacred moments, and all around us in our busy life, the Spirit is constantly speaking to us. So I know for myself and each other that I understand this, I see it, and I get it because I apply it and use it in my day to day experience. So I know that this presence that I choose to call God is always for us, available to us, through us, by means of us. And I declare there are no obstructions to the operation of truth. And we are that free flowing channel of inspiration, wisdom, application, and joy and love. Knowing that it is set, I declare it to be so, and so it is. I am open. I am open. My heart is ready to receive. I am open. I am open. My heart is ready to receive. I am open. I am open. My heart is ready to receive. I am open. I am open. I am open. Wow. Definitely interesting trying to get into a talk after doing something like that. So I'm going to just take a moment to wait till you get back. You know, everything begins with an idea, and if we understand the idea and put it into practice, then we get it. And I was just here, and something popped into my mind about the man that started the initial idea of the Calgary Stampede, and his name was Guy Wiedeck. Anybody ever heard of him before? Now, you know where he got the idea? He got the idea from the biggest rodeo in the West at the time. And my grandfather used to take me up there to that rodeo on gravel roads. It was a dog pound, Alberta. Check it out. That's where he got the idea for the Calgary Stampede, because it was the rodeo to go to. I was up there in the early 50s with my grandfather. So, an idea is an idea, and it comes out and there's understanding. And I had a really interesting time with this talk today because I had it all prepared yesterday, done, and I had a nap today, and everything changed. And as Anthony will tell you, sometimes that doesn't matter a darn bit because here I'm listening to the prelude and the songs Anthony's singing, and it changed again. So stick with me. We'll see how we're going to do it. Now, the key here is, oh, yeah, I understand it. Ever said that? The question is, did you get it? And then people even say, I get it, but they really didn't. So I come up with this little bit of I'm going to read it very slowly to let it sink in, okay? These are my words. So today I'm going to raise some points for contemplation. Do I understand? Do I get it? If I'm getting it, then I must be doing it. If I'm not doing it, then I may still understand it, but obviously I'm not getting it. Why? Because if I was getting it, I would be doing it. Therefore, if I'm not doing it and I'm telling everybody and myself I'm getting it, then I'm lying to myself, which is a topic I'm going to have another day when I can work in lying to self, because it's a biggie and nobody does it, of course. So, some of the points here about did you get it? The more you worry about something, the more you care and love them. This, I don't know about other cultures, but this is an old Scot thing, eh? My mother used to call me up and says, how you doing? I said, great, Mom. What you call for? Oh, I was just worrying about you. Do you know how many times have you said that if you're loving somebody, the more you love them, the more you worry about them, and that's supposed to be a good thing. Have you ever heard that before? Have you ever said that? I was worrying about you because I really care. And if you really think about it, it's like that. Ooh, that's not a good thing to say, is it? And another, because people don't understand what they're really saying. Worrying is never good about anything because that takes us from faith, drops us into fear. Oh, then I got this other one. I took this to task. I got in trouble for this. Don't forget to do this. Anybody ever say that and have somebody forget? And then you go, I told you not to forget. What are you telling them? What are you emphasizing? Forget, forget, forget. Why don't we say, please remember to do this? When you get to the intersection, don't run, don't fool around, don't do this, but make sure you're safe. Well, stop, look both ways, walk when it's safe. See the difference? So I kept getting these messages that say from corporate headquarters, don't forget this, don't forget that, and I took them to task. I said, why don't you tell people what you want them to do instead of what you don't? And I really took them to task. I got in trouble for it. Can you imagine? Well, anyhow. Another one I like is, I can't hear what you're saying because what you're doing is speaking so loudly. You ever run across that? Did you ever catch yourself? Never mind, we all know other people do this. But do you ever catch yourself doing that, saying that, and then doing something else yourself? And just one over here, yeah. Yeah, so we all have a handle on that. But anyhow, there's a few more of these, but the bottom line is the faith and fear thing. So what happened to me is I had all these other things, some of that. But what the real interesting thing was, do it God's way and not our way. And again, everything really boils down to that fine line. Because if you're on this side of that fence, you're on the side of faith. If you're on this side, you're on the side of fear. Now, do you understand that? Yeah. But do you get it? And everybody say, yeah, I get it. But how many people are going to walk out of here and worry or fret about something? Oh, that's because you didn't get it. You see what I'm saying? How subtle it is? And then people go, well, how come it takes so damn long and it's so hard to believe something, to make myself believe it, to change it? Well, if a guy's been telling himself lies for years and doesn't even know it, oh, those ones that don't count because they're just little fibs or white lies and they got different colored lies. You know those ones that don't really count? Just like, $100 on the lottery isn't winning the lottery. It's got more zeros to us, but God doesn't know that. God doesn't do zeros. God doesn't do little lies. And if one keeps lying to themselves, how many times, oh God, this is a good one. How many times have you told yourself you were going to do something? I'm starting my new program, going to release a little of the Dunlap's disease, the belly done lapped over the belt, and I'm going to start tomorrow, and you go out and eat chocolate cake. Anybody ever done that? Have you done it more than once? Yeah, you know damn well that, right? Yeah. And so if you tell yourself that enough, you're lying to yourself. So when you work on something you really want, how can you believe yourself right off the bat? Think about that one. That's a good one to ponder. So, key aspects of understanding. What is a metaphysical meaning? That in the individual which comprehends is understanding. It knows and comprehends in wisdom. Its comparisons are not made in the realm of form, but in the realm of ideas. It knows how to accomplish things. So that's the metaphysical meaning of understanding. It all works around here, but did you get it? Well, we got to go a little more. I like this, what I found. In the Bible, understanding refers to the ability to grasp the meaning and significance of something, particular in relationship to God's will. And we go say God's will is that the divine is there for us to give us whatever we need to be healthy, happy, fulfilled, and prosperous in life. Okay? So, in relation to God's will and truth, it's more than just knowledge. Aha. It encompasses the capacity to discern, comprehend, and apply. And you see, that's where we get falling down a lot of times in our metaphysical circles. We do all the right stuff, but we never get around to doing it. Do I understand it? Yeah, but did I get it? Got it? Did I get it? And that's one of the things there, okay? And apply wisdom in a way that aligns with God's purposes. And we all know what that is in our teaching and philosophy. Understanding involves spiritual insight, sound judgment, and the ability to connect spiritual truths with one's actions and character. Well, you want to challenge on that one, trying to develop that with this character here. That was an interesting project, but you do that, okay? That's what understanding is and getting it. And it is okay to be yourself. You don't have to be this way. You don't have to be that way, because who you are, exactly the way you are, is okay. Don't compare yourself to life. It's a liar. The only truth is in here. Compare yourself to yourself and where you're going and what you're doing. Well, that was good. Let's go on here for some more. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, yeah. Spiritual insight. Understanding involves perceiving spiritual realities and truths, often through faith and the guidance of God's Spirit, the Spirit within us. That's one of the things that's a keystone in my program, is observation, how God speaks to us. All the time is just, we don't know it's God, eh? And we don't get what's speaking to us, and we just don't listen. Has anybody got a problem listening sometimes? You know what I mean, eh? And that's one of the things. And then there's discernment. The faculty of us that's in there called discernment is one of the two brothers, or one of the two sons of Zebedee, the two brothers, James and John. And John was the heart, James is the head, the faculty of judgment and discernment. So there is the faculty of discernment. It includes the ability to distinguish between right and wrong, truth and error, and to make wise judgments based on discernment. Attitude plus choice equal consequences. Oh, I heard that before. See what I'm saying? Right there. Application. Understanding isn't just theoretical. I got to tell you, I could talk about this stuff and never pick up a book for the rest of my life. Not interesting. It's the application of it that really gets you the juice. It isn't theoretical. It involves applying spiritual truths in one's life, shaping one's thoughts, actions, and character. And this idea of God's will, its essential understanding is the comprehending God's purpose and aligning with it. Well, it's a creative process that's continually going on, and it doesn't really matter whether you believe it or not, you are going to change into something. Better to work on changing into what you want to be and changing into what you might be by just not bothering with it. So that's a really good, valuable one there. And acknowledgement and wisdom. Understanding builds upon knowledge and leads to wisdom, which is the wisdom is the practical application of knowledge and understanding. So if you thought wisdom was an idea, it ain't. Wisdom comes from the doing. Okay? That's where you get the wisdom. Well, what if I fail? Like somebody said to me, Doug, a long time ago, you're a master. And I said, well, you know the difference between a master and a beginner? Masters failed way, way more times than a beginner's even tried. And that doesn't mean you're a failure. Failure is just part of a success. You just got to see it differently or work at it. So, how is understanding acquired? It's a gift from God, and it was received through faith in the Holy Spirit. Where's the Holy Spirit? It ain't out there, it's in here. Wise counsel. Learning from wise teacher and mentors can also foster understanding. I've learned from a lot of great teachers like Norman Vincent Peale and Raymond Charles Barker and Bob Proctor and Louise Hay live. Okay, interesting. And then there's applying the principles. Understanding is further developed by applying biblical principles or applying spiritual principles to real life situations and reflecting on the consequences. I just love doing stuff that makes absolutely no sense in anybody's mind, period, out there, but it's spiritual and it works. I got to tell you, as you well know, you guys heard most of them, well, not all of them, but a litany of stories to demonstrate that. And that's what I really get off on, is when I can get to that place of doing that. Notice I didn't say I was there all the time. I never met anybody that was there all the time. I didn't met a unity minister once. Ah. That was incredible. His name was Jack Boland. Have you ever heard of Jack Boland? Unity Minister out of Warren, Michigan. He was the guy that wrote the Mastermind Journal that everybody started using. And he had 4,000, two services, 4,000 each. And I got to meet him two or three different times and have some sessions with him. And I got to tell you, you know what? I saw this. I just couldn't believe it. He had such a beautiful energy. I saw ladies, a couple of them walk up to him, just ask him a question. He turned and smiled at them, and they just broke down and cried right there in the spot. Just like they just couldn't believe what he was and what he sent out. It just made them cry. Joy, and I'm going, ooh, this guy's kind of tuned into a different level. Huh. Okay? And he started in the gutter too, so don't feel like you got to go down there to get there, but, there's hope for all of us. And then there's applying the principles. Understanding is further developed by applying the principles, again, to real life situations. And it doesn't matter where we go or what we do, it always boils back to that faith and fear model. Over here on fear, there's worry, doubt, anxiety, stress, lack of trust. Because, and one of the things is having a timeline. We got to have this done by there, or we got to have a certain amount of money to get that done. And we like to have it in our back pocket, don't we? So we can feel comfortable. Anybody like to have things under control to feel comfortable when you're moving forward like that? And it's not like that. Because you see, that's the individual. That's humanity's way of working the system. We call that man's time, which has absolutely nothing to do with God's time. They don't relate at all. Because man's time is how we try to control things and get comfortable before events. Well, when I have enough money, I'll go make that step. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and that's the ego. And that's never how it works. And God's time is this. It's simple. On a need-to-know basis. And technically, if it happened at the last minute, you didn't really need to know till the last minute, did you? No, and it worked out fine. I remember trying to go to Outward Bound, and what happened was I didn't have any money, but I had $500, and I needed $2,500 to finish the registration. And I was thinking, well, it's coming in next week is the deadline. I don't have any money. I can't get any credit because I went through my thing. And I was kind of relieved because that means I couldn't go take the course because I was really into resistance to it. That's another topic. My buddy, he comes over one day and he says, Doug, I got that court thing, the accident thing all settled finally that I've been working on. You've been coaching me on for 2 years, and instead of $1,500, I got $35,000. Oh, well, that's nice. He said, I'd like to give you something. And he had a check payable to me. Guess how much it was for? $2,500, and I didn't tell him. I told nobody. And I said to him, got another blank check with you, Tony? He said, yeah. Can you do me a favor? What? I said, I'm going to rip this up. Would you put that payable to Outward Bound? Oh, sure he did. And that's where I got the money. And you think I was fretting about it? I was actually delighted because I didn't really want to go do it. But, I had to. Spirit told me. You know how those things are. You don't want to do what Spirit tells you because it's crazy and it drives you nuts or you think you're nuts. But those are the things that you need to do. If you didn't, you wouldn't be told. Okay? And so, hurrah. But there at the 11th hour, bingo was the money. On a need-to-know basis. And that's where the faith, that's where the trust, that's where the confidence, that's where all of that stuff is built on. And when we work in that realm and we're like that, not only do we understand it, but we get it. However, we could declare we understand it, we could declare what we get it, but what we're doing is speaking so loudly nobody can hear us. Right? So those are just a few things to give you with. I think I got time for one quick story here. And this is a lovely one. And it's about my dear departed brother who, it's like a lot of us, had trouble with Dunlap's disease, the belly Dunlapping over the belt. And so I had this really new system I was working with. It was working pretty good. And I talked to him about it, and he said, no, no, no. Well, he said he had tried 5 different kinds of systems. I tried this, it didn't work. All 5 didn't work. So rather than listening to what I was saying and suggesting maybe trying something different, he turned it all off and said, no, no, I'm going to try this one that even though I failed at it, it'll work better than the other 4 I failed at. Did you hear that? Now, I understand that and I got that, but not in the way that I wanted to. You see what I'm saying? And then the other one more. Lose. I had a lady come up to me last Sunday and ask me for advice on how to lose weight. Has anybody ever tried to lose weight? Anybody here? Oh, I should save the story for somebody else. I know. Okay. And I said to her, why do you want to lose that? Well, I want to get in shape. Why do you want to lose it? She didn't get it. Has anybody here ever lost anything and was happy to lose it and didn't look for it? Because generally, if we lose something, we look for it. Is that true? And we're not happy about losing it. And if we find it, we're happy. You see how we set ourselves up for failure on that? We can shed the weight, we can release it, we could let it go, but we don't have to lose it. We don't have to, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that, just be aware. And then not only do we understand, but we get it. So I know for you, as I know for myself, that we are an open, clear, free-flowing channel of God's love, energy, wisdom, and kindness. And that which we have to say and how we have to say it for the greatest good of all concerned flows through us with clarity, conviction, with understanding, and with humor. Declare it, know it, accept it, give thanks for it, and so it is. Whee!